It's very noisy in my house at the moment. And yeah, as you could probably tell. Oh dear, this is...
Nicely, you've got to be nice.
You got to be, yeah, you got to be nice. You got to be, oh, we've got somebody here. I don't know who it is yet. Might be like,
Show them how you say bonjour. Don't be silly.
you've been silly. Right, this is little Nana, and this is Tochi. Will you put your tongue in? Have I got to chop it off?
No.
No?
Tell Grandpa we'll be baking in a minute.
Pizza.
Pizza? Yeah, you can make pizza. Oh, okay.
What sort of pizza
Well,
you gonna make?
Oh,
Green. Olive pizza.
you make what?
Olive.
Olive pizza. You want to make an olive pizza?
Yes.
Oh, you do. How's Nana going to has Nana made the base?
Yeah. No, Tochi
Have you made the base?
Tochi made it.
Oh, Tochi made the base. Did you make the base?
And me.
Oh, that's
Made the
good.
dough,
And did
me
you
and
help?
You. Yeah, both did that.
Blimey, they are fidgeters, aren't they?
And how big is it grown, Tochi? Tochi, how big is it grown?
Puppy.
I will talk about something serious in a minute, but just.
Try to take them away.
That's so lovely the cat.
Say bye-bye.
You gonna say ta-ta?
You've got to say bye-bye.
I got so lovely the cat
Bye,
here.
ta-ta. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye, ta-ta. Yeah.
You can say bye-bye, Nina.
This is a bit mad. This is crazy. Oh, well, you can say ta, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. I'm going to stay here.
Bye-bye, Grandpa.
Ta-ta. Go on, then you.
Bye-bye, Grandpa.
Yeah, you're not like your sister, are you? The other one. There's another one as well, Grace. But she's a lot easier.
Come on,
Yeah. Go on, you.
We'll go walk Grandpa's garden, aren't we?
Oh, crikey. It's a madhouse. It is. It's an absolute madhouse. Oh, blimey. Well, the elections were good, I suppose. And we've got another Keir. This time it's not a Sir and a Mather, and he's only 25 years old. But, you know, it's like the in-betweeners, according to Johnny Mercer. Yeah, what a plonker he is. Well, I hope everybody's well. This is a bit of a test because, I'm out here in my shack. Yeah, and I had to mess about with the internet to get here. So, yeah, hello, Michelle. Hope you're well. Oh, Italy. Oh, hello, Marcus and family. Love from Italy. Oh, yes, it's been a bit of a... Well, it's only been a couple of days. Yeah, blimey. What is it about girls? They do like to scream. They really do. Constantly screaming. For no reason whatsoever. It's like, I'll scream and scream until I'm sick. That's what it feels like to me. But just, yeah. Oh, crikey. My other little granddaughter, though, she's a lot, she's a bit of a, how to put it, she's a bit of a sponge. She likes to absorb stuff. But, oh my God, the world has gone absolutely mad. So you've got Johnny Mercer criticising, well, basically he said that, oh, who's going to vote for him? Then they did. Uxbridge Lord was lost, but the Tories, they lost a lot of votes, didn't they? That's about 500 votes, isn't it? Some people are saying to me that, those who didn't do tactical voting, it's all your fault. But they're right to vote whoever they want to, I suppose. Not everyone's, sold on Labour, and they've got, fully within their rights to vote for whoever they want to. Oh, hello, Alan. Is it raining in the UK? It's definitely not raining here. No, it's quite hot and sweaty and sticky. I've been working in the garden that I have, and I've managed to get the internet to the shack. Managed to get an RJ45 Cat 6 cable to here, so hopefully the internet will be okay. But the water companies, in their wisdom, they've sold off the reservoirs. Yeah. That's nuts. We've got water shortage and the water companies are selling off the reservoirs. Well, they've already sold them off, just to get a quick buck. It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Great, they're thrown me a bit, the kids have. Wilkinson's, Wilkinson's in the UK. Now they're looking at, they're selling off 400 stores in the UK. So they can't make it now, no. So the British high streets are suffering another blow. So it's going to be less well, business rates, less taxation for the local authorities. 400 stores, that's a lot, isn't it? You know? Makes, that makes old Tim Martin's Weatherspoons sell-off look a little bit, how to put it, a little bit poxy. Yeah, 400. So Wilco is exploring opportunities to sell a controlling stake in an attempt to cut the costs and turn around the business. Basically, they've got cash flow issues. And if you've got stores that are, quite frankly, haven't got enough footfall already, well, then they're going to fall flat on their face, aren't they? How else are they going to manage? You get the revenue from somewhere. And that's pretty much what Weatherspoons have been doing as well. They had no choice. Tim Butt-Dim selling his pubs. Where's the violin? The tiniest violin in the world. That is, yeah, see it? It's so small. It's a tiny, tiny violin. Yeah. Pop the ping, Tim Martin. Oh, selling off his fake pub chain. Well, not all of them, but, you know, he's selling off another, I can't remember what it was now. He's already sold about 80 odd, hasn't he? So, oh, why not? I got internet. Oh no, I got internet. I got on there. Oh, I'm back again. And even Piers Morgan, he's now saying that Brexit has been a dismal failure. Oh dear. Is it 50 so far this year? I think it's something like that, isn't it? Regarding his pubs, he sold quite a few. So Piers Morgan has branded Brexit a dismal failure, apparently. Now remember Piers Morgan, he got upset with me, and I got banned on YouTube. That was my first strike. That was. Yeah, I got banned for a week for hate crimes against Piers Morgan. Is that even possible? Is that even possible? Hey? I am going live tonight as well, just so you know. And but obviously I'll be in the office studio. So despite voting Remain, Morgan usually seems to be in the view that the deed is done and that people should get on with it. Yeah. However, he says he voted Remain. I got my don'ts. But the people, we should just get on with it. Yeah. Get Brexit done, is what they said. Well, hang on, that's Alexander Boris to Ethel Johnson. Oh, apparently they've managed to gain access to his... oh, 1 month star achieved. Yay! Hey, you got a star. Well done, buddy. Hello, my friend. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I've lost my plot now. So, Piers shared a YouGov poll on Twitter, which revealed that over 60% of Brits now view Brexit as more of a failure than a success. Commenting on the poll, Morgan expressed his belief that Brexit has harmed the country and failed to deliver on its promises. Oh, just went off a bit. Well, that's weird. So, oh, these people are rather annoying, aren't they? Not my mate Boris Johnson. No, he's not mine either, Mellow. Well, they managed to access his phone, or one of his phones. 1 minute he's handing it over, and the next minute we hear that there's problems accessing it because he's lost his password or something. It's not as simple as that with phones these days, is it? And now they're saying they've got some kind of techie involved to get in there. Yeah, he's a creep, you're right. Anyway, Morgan was saying, he said increasingly obvious that the Brexit has been a dismal failure and harmed the country. I was happy to honour the referendum result despite voting Remain and wanted it to work as Brexiters promised us it would. Yeah. Green, grass is greener on the other side. Sunlit uplands. That didn't pan out very well, did it? But it hasn't, no. And time for another vote, he says. Oh. It's not as simple as that. It's not going to be easy to rejoin the EU. And besides, it'll take at least 10 years, at least. And that'll be from the time we actually get our act together and start acting like grown-ups. But not at the moment, no, we certainly are not. Well, the topic of Brexit remains divisive among the public. The broadcaster, Piers Morgan, one person responded to Piers, are you allowed to cancel it without doing damage to democracy? That's a stupid response, because if you have another referendum to rejoin, well, that is democracy. You're allowed to change your mind. Yeah. Otherwise, it ain't democracy. Well, democracy has pretty much been scuppered in the UK anyway because of the fact that, well, your right to protest for a start has been diminished. You can't even walk down the road now, slowly. You can't even glue yourself to the road now. They're getting locked up. Well, was that a vicar or a priest or someone got locked up for 6 months because he glued himself to the road? And those guys they stuck themselves, well, up that bridge, Thames Bridge, they got 3 years. It's nuts. So another commented, called Brexit more disappointing than the final season of Game of Thrones. I vouch for that. And said that we can all agree that Brexit has, it's been a bit of a fiasco. It destroyed Parliament, didn't it? Look at the numpties we've got in there now. You know, Boris Johnson got rid of all the ones that had any common sense, if any. But now, look at we've got Lee Anderson. Lee Anderson, and that Clark geezer, the one who eats beans. This is just madness. Oh well. So, Camus MP Ben Lake has argued that Brexit is contributing to the rising costs in his constituency. Obviously, we can't get the flipping stuff done. We've got a supply side shock. We can't get the materials at the prices or at the speed and efficiency that we did before. And now we've got shortage of people because we're not letting them in anymore. Freedom of movement. I've got musical chairs going on basically around the country regarding the jobs. You know, what happens is, that job there pays more money. I'm sick and tired of this one. Yeah, I don't like being a doctor or a nurse anymore. I'll take that job. I get paid twice as much. Get musical chairs, but then you've got a job vacancy that, another one's lost. Well, in most cases, it seems to be, bug off to Australia. That's what's happening at the moment. So he referenced research from the London School of Economics, which suggests that the UK households have shouldered a staggering $7 billion in costs since Brexit. We've got over 2 trillion in lost equity in the UK in our assets. 2 trillion. Never mind the costs. Costs of GDP, was it? Even as ONS saying it's 4%. Yeah, economists such as Adam Possibly reckons it's 6% loss of GDP. And he was in the Bank of England. Well, these barriers have resulted in disruptions in imports and an average increase of $250 in food bills. It's probably more than that. It depends what you eat, I suppose. Anyway, let's have a little chat. I'll have to keep myself up there. This chair, I made this chair out of old pallets. It's quite low. It's comfy though. I shaped it to my butt. Yeah, that's what you're doing, that. Live chat. Oh, why are they coming up? Chat ain't coming up. Right, so what? That's really annoying. The chat ain't coming up. Oh, let's come back up now. Hello, Tom Finney. I think we have to understand that the British Isles are islands and often many feel unconnected to the continent. Otherwise, how was 17 million convinced to say no to the... Well, they all sold a dream. Sovereignty. It's a really easy sell. It's romantic almost, It wasn't about logic. It was all about feelings and sentiment. Logically, we're feeling the fact that it's shit. So it's, and it is. So, welcome to the Brexit, sir. Make Brexit twerk. It certainly is. It's just madness. The whole thing's madness. And loads of Brits living in Europe have lost their UK bank accounts because of Brexit. They have. I haven't got one anymore. No, I got rid of it actually before that came in, but didn't really need it. I got my French one. Right, so for some reason I can't get the rest of... Oh, no, can't get the rest of my chats up. Super chats. Top chat. Okay, what is that? It's an annoying bug. Welcome to the Brexit. I can't scroll any further up. unfortunately. Works well for them since World War One. It does. Those of us living in Europe have lost their bank accounts. They have. Loads of people have lost their bank accounts. I know a few. They've had their letters. It's taken a little while for it to catch up. But yeah, it's... The best thing I suppose they could have done is actually not tell anyone that they had a bank account in the UK. But then but if you get caught doing that, it's a £5,000 fine. So you don't want to do that. So Piers Morgan says Brexit is shit. We know that though, buddy. We know that. Oh, buddy. Did I just call him buddy? No. Piers Morgan, I hate you. I got struck off because of you. Yeah, because I made references to Charlie Epstein and Jizzy Maxwell and other sex offenders. He didn't like it. No. Scroll up on there. Where was it? I know we're looking at credit cards. The idea you're going to be able to, or not idea, getting the 0 rate transferable interest deals on credit cards. That is now, look like it's going to go to the bird. Yeah, go away, fly. It's buzzing on me. It's flies out here. Okay, I've got my daughter here now. Oh, Craig, I got another one. Anyone want a baby? I like babies, I do, yeah. I can't eat a whole one though. There's another one. I'm surrounded by kids. This one makes weird noises. It's called, I think it's called crying. Yeah, okay. He's vertically challenged. How old do you know? He's about 2, isn't he? Three?
2 months.
3 years?
2 months.
2 years?
Months.
Moi. Moi. 2 mois. 2 mois. He's always happy now. It's screaming like a good one. He had like colic type pains or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He farts a lot. He bubbled on my leg.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Who wants it? This is going free, and I'll post it to you with a straw, so you can breathe. Obviously, I mean, that'd be cruel otherwise. You see, you can't post a baby. Yes, you can.
It's not from that film.
It's from Bad Grandpa. Bad Grandpa. Yeah, he goes just like DHL. And what's his name? This is the guy from Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, he tries to stick his grandson in this cardboard box. It's all pranks, you know what I mean? And just yeah, it's quite funny.
You can't post a child.
You can't post a child. Why not? What do you reckon? Can't post a baby. Who wants it? I could auction it off. What do you reckon? Could you
It does
auction
make
it?
a lot of mess.
And a lot of noise because he was crying a lot earlier. You're right. And also, you've got to learn to breastfeed. I don't know if it's something you can learn, Yasmin.
To be honest, there's actually some records of males being able to breastfeed babies when the mother has passed away and been able
A lactating man?
It's possible, you know. The body adapts and all that.
Is it? Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Let's give it a go.
Please do not breastfeed my child.
Be hairy. It'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Do you want it back?
Yeah, I could do.
Catch.
He doesn't bounce yet.
Let you bounce.
No.
Hmm? Well, this is Bouchy. It's not spelt the same, but it's very much like bouche as on Francais for log. So I'm going to call him a log. Hello, log.
Poor child.
Well, yeah, look at the mother. There you go, look, do her back.
That was an insult.
I'll be raffling off soon. Yeah. Well, I'd like a Wheel of Fortune. I'll get like an app for that, can't I? I'd like a Wheel of Fortune and we'll put names on the wheel. What do you reckon? I bet it tastes really good.
Give it a try before you eat him.
More like coffee, darling. Yeah. It's a bit chewy. I'd want them cooked. Give us a second. Yeah. Like that.
Oh dear.
Poor little blighter. Give it, take away from me. So, Boos. Where was I? Bye bye, YouTubes, he says. Does he speak? Oh, that's right then. Sorry about that. Oh dear. Oh, mini AllShorts. We've got a very noisy house. I blame your husband. She makes a lot of noise. Yeah, the mother. Huh? By accident. It makes funny noises, constantly demands food, drinks too much, solid nappies, dribbles, but enough about Marks. Thanks for that, buddy. Oh, we're good folk too. In the UK, all places have good and, well, yeah, of course. That's the same thing, isn't it? You know, it's I do. I know I take the mick out of people and stuff like that, but I do believe most people are inherently good. Most people are. The problem is the ones who aren't are the loudest out there. Not, you know, they rant and they moan and they whinge about their bank accounts and, you know, their Coots account, for instance. Yeah. They expect an apology and they're not satisfied with it when they get one. No. God, fartage. What an ass that he is. The only reason why he's upset is the fact that he can't export his money as easy as he did. You know, like Cayman Islands maybe. Some other bank account somewhere, you know, squirrel his money away. That's what I think anyway. I think that'd be quite a likely scenario. Oh, got some good news though. Got some good news for you, yeah. No. The aircraft carrier, remember there's two of them and you could actually build 11 of these aircraft carriers for what was squirreled away during the pandemic, as in the £39 billion to hard-on Dido, whatever her name is. And, well, two of them, okay, you could say it would be 11 of them, but they wouldn't because they didn't build them, but they built two of them, and one of them, the HMS Prince of Wales, the other one is the HMS Queen Elizabeth. Well, one of them had some problems. You probably heard the story. Basically had alignment issues with prop shafts and stuff, you see, because, you know, you don't spend £3 billion on an aircraft carrier by having the old bent prop shaft, do you? Or misalignment problems and breaks down. Of course you don't. Well, they started ripping stuff off the Prince of Wales, the HMS Prince of Wales, to go on to the to use on the Queen Elizabeth, but they've actually fixed it all now. Yeah. Yeah, they've actually fixed it. It's actually it's in dry dock. They're actually flooding the dock now, and it's probably the water now. Actually, it's flooded up in the dry dock following the repairs. So they've actually done it. Actually, it's on time as well because they did say that it would be in the summer, sort of late summer. Well, it was in July, isn't it? So midsummer. So there'll still be stuff to do inside, but all the main repairs. I wonder who's paid for that, I wonder. Because it's going to cost around 25, 27 million pounds to do the repairs on a ship that's only like 2 or 3 years old. It costs £3 billion to build. I bet taxpayers paying it. I bet they weren't able to negotiate that one. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that taxpayers paid that. So, that's nuts. But anyway, it's fixed and it looks like it's going back in the water. It looked like it was just going to be bastardised for spare bits before. But apparently that's quite a common practice. Now, I want to talk about somebody else. Yeah, lovely geezer. Yeah. He had a YouTube channel. It's great. He used to be on BBC Radio as well. Yeah, I think Liverpool or somewhere. I don't know, somewhere anyway. Lovely guy, ginger head. Yeah, I don't want gingers. Gingers are fine. Got a problem with that at all. Quite a few Scots are gingers, I believe. Or was that just a stereotype? Probably. Well, this lovely geezer, he's got down to a fine art now, picking up the old soap. Yeah, clever geezer. Yeah, it's amazing what you can learn, and well, yeah, you adapt, don't you? You adapt. Yeah. Well, you have to adapt. It's been reamed a bit, I reckon. But anyway, Alex Belfield. He's going to pay substantial damages to Jeremy Vine. He's going to buy him a new push bike. I don't know, maybe. Oh, yes, Alex Belfield. He's, I think he's a broken man now. Literally, he's been broken in. I shouldn't say that, but hey, oh, it does give me warm and fuzzy feeling inside. But yeah, that as well, a bit of a warm and fuzzy thing inside, yeah. What a horrible man that he is. I'm being a bit horrible now, to be fair, but anyway, he would have never ever agreed to this before. I think that he's been softened somewhat. Yeah. So the former BBC radio DJ, Alex Belfield, horrible man, has agreed to pay Jeremy Vine substantial damages after targeting him with a hurtful and distressing campaign of harassment. In fact, it was a bit full on, to be honest. Well, he got 5 years for it in the end. And now he's got to pay damages. So, Alex Belfield, who used to present a show on BBC Radio Leeds, wanted to apologise unreservedly for making false allegations of dishonesty after setting a civil claim brought by Mr. Vine, a judge heard on Thursday just gone, yeah, a couple of days ago. Well, in September, Belfield, aged 42, was jailed for 5 years and 26 weeks, so 5.5 years, after being convicted of 4 stalking charges against broadcasters, including the Channel 5 and BBC Radio 2 presenter. Now, he was found guilty after a trial at Nottingham Crown Court of waging a relentless stalking campaign with Mr. Vine and subjected to an avalanche of hatred. So Mr. Vine previously launched a separate civil legal action against Belfield over his campaign of defamation and harassment. A hearing in London before Mrs. Justice Sten was told. See that pocket now? Substantial. What do you mean by substantial? Now, over the Hugh Edwards affair, remember regarding the photographs and what have you, to the BBC, and Jeremy Vine also took a tweeter to court as well, and that was he had to pay. He had to do a charity actually this time. That was a charity that time. Sorry, that was only about a week ago. So that's quite interesting. So you've got to be careful what you say on Twitter, ain't you? Get caught out. Sue ya. Litigious. So Mr. Vine previously launched separately. I said that already. So Gervais de Wild for Mr. Vine said Belfield had made entirely false allegations in 9 YouTube videos and 8 tweets put online between May and August 2020. He stalked him actually as well. Literally went out there, made the effort to stalk him. Some strange buggers out there, aren't there? Really is. Now, they included a false claim that Mr. Vine was seriously and demonstrably dishonest because he had publicly and repeatedly lied about his knowledge of the circumstances in which BBC gave him £1,000 for a memorial event for radio executive John Myers. And John Myers was also attacked as well. It just does give me that warm fuzzy feeling inside. Just to think that he's suffering a little bit because he's obviously a Brexiter as well. So that, they all deserve it, really, don't they? Back into the chat. Hello, Rebecca. Hope you're well. Rebecca. Should be bankrupt. Oh, should be bankrupt to be the BBC. Bankrupt the BBC. It needs reform. It needs to be, the concept behind the whole thing, I think, is actually brilliant. But the problem is the thinking government's got too many little fingers in it. Yeah. Like that Richard Sharp geezer. They're all buddies of the government. The Tories, that is. Alex Belfield spreads hate towards so many, yet it's the wealthy who get compensated. That's a good point, actually. Well, it's those who got the money to do the legal, defamation cases. Yeah, like you and I, we're not going to be able to have the money to be able to, to bring the case forwards. And the problem is, you've got people like Alex Belfield. They will know this, that you don't have the means to see it through. I get a warm fuzzy feeling every time you upload a video because I hit the notification button. Cheers, buddy. Oh. We've got less time for burglary. You would have got less time for burglary. I don't know, it depends what it is, really. I don't know. The thing is, that geezer, Belfield, he would have carried on. He would have carried on attacking more people. And not everyone is as strong as Jeremy Vine. Some people, did break down over it. It's a bit like that pilot who crashed the airplane with Nigel Farage. And Farage put him in so much pressure and stress because he tried to sue him. He ended up killing himself. So not everyone can cope with it, you see. So I think it is pretty serious. Scrolling down. But you're right there, the thing is they're not investigating any burglaries. That might be why. Do we all agree Marcus's biggest fan comment wins comment of the day? But enough about Marcus. Oh dear. Oh, cheers, Jim. They are lovely kids. Alex Bellend, yeah, that's it. Alex Bellend, Belfield. Brokeback Mountain Man, yeah. The US Navy has had 20 years of L's for new platforms. I don't know what it means, but sorry. The aircraft carriers. The carriers is a British Leyland car. You have the guarantee it will break down under 1 year. Somebody was telling me actually in the comments that he was saying a lot of these new ships are so lightweight as well. There's not enough steel in them. They're too weak. Oh, that says Mellow. But England is mostly bad people, or why they drag Scotland out of the EU. I don't know. I'm not saying that. Well, I suppose I hear what you're saying because you're talking about the 52%, aren't you? Well, I think most people they didn't really know what they're voting for, to be honest. Who was saying to me the other day? Oh, they voted for because their friends voted for it, something like that. That's just silly. It's just foolish. Some people are just foolish. The only odd numbers burglaries get investigated every other day. Odd numbers. Hello, Billy. Scroll up, scrolling up. Oh, there you are. That was quite funny. Mark's his biggest fan. That's quite good. That's quite a good comment. We're all good folk too in the UK. All places have good and bad that they do. But shall ask. The thing is, though, you just don't want to treat people with if they've done no harm to you, we don't need to belittle them, do we? To be honest. Unless they're Brexiters, well, we do it anyway. Maybe. So we'll go to. So if you didn't hear me earlier, I am going live tonight as well. So that'll be my usual place. It'll be my studio, officey thing. That was a good comment. Scroll up. I'm living in Europe. Okay, where was I? So I was talking about Alex Belfield. And he was, crikey, what's her name now? He does like actual live shows in theatres and stuff as well, he was. And he was doing one with what was her name? Foul woman. Oh, crikey, I think she was part of like some sort of game show or something and she won. Something like that, or she was like Big Brother type thing. So he's been convicted by a jury at Nottingham Crown Court this last year So they put him away for 5.5 years, which it did make me tickle. I was like, crikey, the amount of love that was pouring out for him, though. Oh, can you make sure he's all right? Is he all right? He's got no access now, has he? Or very little access. I don't think he's done any posts. He's definitely hasn't done no videos. So, there we go. Right, I think there's enough for Alex Belfield. What's the other thing I want to talk about? What's that one? Not on there. So I did that. I got that on twice. Got Vladimir Putin, he's from... Oh, crikey. So, he warns Poland against unleashing aggression against Belarus. This is all lies, but he's just trying to justify himself. So, Putin has said that Russia will use all means at its disposal, remember that's NATO, to defend Belarus from Poland and other EU countries. Voiced concerns about the deployment of Russian paramilitaries near the borders. Now, Putin delivered a series of aggressive remarks during a meeting of his Security Council, where he claimed without evidence that Poland was seeking to invade Belarus. That's rubbish. The Russian ally and that their elites were dreaming of Belarusian lands. Apparently, Prigozhin's up there. You know, the Wagner Group leader. He's up there with his mercenaries. So, the Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group have been holding training sessions on the for Belarusian troops at the Bretsky Training Centre in western Belarus, so it's 6 miles from the border. And Poles who are quite close up, they can hear all the gunshots and stuff and helicopters and stuff like that going on. Do you think this is grandstanding, or is it? Do you think he's planning something? He's already pulled out of the deal regarding the grain exports. I think we need to start stocking up. Yeah, a bit panic buying. I think, yeah. Don't worry about toilet rolls. You don't need to worry about that. But grain exports, they're going to be hampered by the fact that Putin's put more sea mines around the ports of Ukraine. He's now saying anyone who's any ships seen there are going to be considered as hostile, even if it's a grain ship. So Ukraine can't get the grain out other than the land route they have that used before, but you can't ship much very quickly that way. So that's going to cause more shortages of grain. But also, India's got they've got problems. I suppose if you think of Churchill, almost like starving Indian people. About 15 million people died because basically all the rice was being exported. Well, India's just banned the export of rice products. I think they're down basmati, but any restrictions obviously have a knock-on effect, doesn't it? So that's rather worrying, because you're talking about staples, aren't you? Whether it be rice or wheat products, both of them are going to be restricted. And you know what it's like, isn't it? It's always the poorest in society that gets hit first. Obviously, we had the cruise ships. They were sent back, weren't they, to the owners? Who tries to get the cruise ship? Yeah, these are refugee cruise ships. Who aren't in their right mind? Oh my God! I just saw a dove. I hadn't seen a dove before. Not here. But I mean, anyway, I know a dove coop, dove coop. Anyway, but who in their right minds organises cruise ships nowhere to put them? You'd think they'd be all authorised and sort of that. They just turned up with these cruise ships. Put refugees in. Where's the logic and sense of that? So, the Bank of England interest rate hikes has triggered a record 2.1 trillion of UK wealth collapse. Basically, reduced equity in assets. So the Bank of England has engineered the largest contraction in UK household wealth on record by jacking up interest rates in response to scorching inflation. A new report that was out, I think it was yesterday actually, has claimed asset values have collapsed by 2.1 trillion. That's not a good sign, is it? This shows things are bad, doesn't it, really? So wealth as a share of the entire economy is now down by more than 650%, the foundation said. Right, okay, that's a huge percentage, isn't it? In the years after 2008 financial crisis, amid the teeth of the pandemic, before the inflation surge took on, supply side shock, etc., etc. Obviously, the war in Ukraine, blah 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 blah. It's all so before the inflation surge took off. Well, the central bank slashed interest rates to rock bottom levels, lighting a fuse under the asset prices, and the environment lifted UK wealth to a peak of 840% of gross domestic product, 17.5 trillion. But our assets are worth a shitload less. That they are, unfortunately. Me and Putin, judo, I will flip him all over the place. You know, he walks like that, like one hand down the side. That's the old KGB thing. They're always ready to, to deholster, to get the gun. But like it says, you're always in the KGB. You never leave. Oh, crikey, in Dover. The port of Dover. I did make a video about that earlier, actually. But that is... Okay, what does it mean there? It's gone again. I need to sort that out. Let's see. Oh, I've got no internet on this phone. It's saying it's there, but there's no internet on it. Interesting. Right, back here we go. And e-bikes. A little bit about e-bikes. There's an e-bike manufacturer called VanMoof in Holland. And I just actually recorded a video on this one. And it's, well, it's not great. Why do we rely so heavily on tech? To the point where, if it goes wrong, we can't do anything with it. Now, there's a company called VanMoof. It's a Dutch producer of e-bikes. But they're all connected. They're connected to your device through Bluetooth and what have you, and also the internet. And they're connected to the servers of this particular company. Well, the company's just gone bankrupt. So, yes, the producer of e-bikes went bankrupt. And this is the first time it wasn't because of Brexit. Of course not. So, these e-bikes, obviously because it's the Netherlands, but which utilise an app, but also utilise a server. And what's happened is that they can't connect to the server anymore because the company's gone bankrupt and the servers have gone down. Well, they need access to the servers so that they can actually get the codes to authorise the app and the mobile device to the actual e-bike. Because all that, you walk away from the e-bike, what happens is the bike locks and all that sort of stuff. Well, there's all these bikes that are rendered useless because people haven't managed to get the codes. There's third-party apps you can use to control these e-bikes, but you had to download the original codes while the servers were up before you could use this. So you start using this new app. We're too dependent on technology. We all do it, but it's There's not a lot of foresight in it, is there? When things go wrong, and a threat of war and stuff like that, you can imagine what will happen then. Things will be throttled. You might can't, get access to anything abroad. All sorts of stuff will be going on. Because they want to control all media in case of war. If it is a world war, for instance, or with Russia, or even. So it just feels like madness to me. We're just so reliant on third party. Well, not third party. These apps from these companies. It's just stupid, absolutely stupid, as far as I'm concerned. Well, Paris is quite happy. They're doing quite well, Paris. Yeah, and banking. So there's a lot of dire predictions, wasn't there, post Brexit, what have you. And one of them was, bank sector's going to collapse. Well, it's not exactly collapsing, no, but no, they're just moving out to Paris. Well, it's been having a grand old time, luring banks from London and exceeding expectations. Oh, excuse me. While they're at it. So the French government went in a lobbying rampage, persuading these finance giants to set up shop in Paris. It's either going to be there, or it's going to be Germany, or even in the Netherlands. Well, share traders in the Netherlands. So much for Brexit, isn't it? Yeah. All the companies are just moving abroad. It's nuts. Can't blame them. So there's no winning Brexit, it seems to me. It's absolutely crazy. Well, it's a bit of a test. I hope the actual signal's been okay and the audio's been okay, because it's the actual internet is on quite a long cable. All the way to the box on the RJ45, but it's quite long. Everything's so far away in our house. So let's check the chat. If there was a world war, how would we get our goods from our newfound CPTPP? That's a valid point. Maybe Italy will supply us with the diesel engines like they did during the war, even though they're an Axis group. It's like everything, isn't it? All that stuff is reliant on tech. These ships as well, do they know how to do their vectors? Have they got their yacht masters and stuff? We're so reliant on technology. It's crazy. That's a good point, though. It's a good point. Will they even sell it to us? Will they look at, stockpiling? Okay, you can't do it with some crops, can you? At the time of war, countries are going to be looking after their own, just like India's doing, with this ban on exporting of rice. They don't want another situation that happened because of Churchill, do they? If the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be saying, well, we'd be doing the same, wouldn't we? So, it's a bit crazy. A bit crazy. Hello, Hammer. Hammer taboo! Who in the right mind, as opposed to the left mind, yes, these right-minded politicians do have a somewhat of a vacancy when it comes to thinking things through. I think a lot of people do. Everything's multifaceted. One thing affects something else down the line. Everything has a consequence. Whether it be, Brexit and the fact red tape, what have you. Hasn't created the jobs. That's created some jobs, Brexit has, obviously, because there's been jobs created to facilitate Brexit. Like import-export checks, EORI numbers and stuff like that. Now, I just had some glue ordered on my behalf from the UK. It's woodworking glue. Cascamite, pad resin wood glue and various other glues. It's quite a large pack of glue. And this particular company's in the UK, and they just bought the franchise or the brand Cascamite. It was owned by a company called Polyvine before. They screwed it up, and everyone moved away from it. So the brand was sold to this other company. Anyway, when they contacted me the first time, said you could do this sort of collaboration on my other channel. They'd were asking for my EORI number. Well, the EORI number is generally if you're going to trade between two countries. So, whoever you're going to trade with, they've got to have an EORI number. They've got to send it over to you. You have to make one for every single export. They've got the EORI number. They've got to they've got to then go through the process and get a fresh one. And you've got to do the same every time they export into the EU. But they didn't need to do that because obviously I'm an individual. I'm not, obviously just sent to me as though I'm a customer. So that's what they've done. So I'm interested to see whether or not I get charged for the for the fees, because that can be quite expensive. So everything's become just so much harder, isn't it? So even just travelling now, it's so much harder. And some of these rules would have been coming in anyway regarding the ETA in the UK and the EES and ETEIS. All these things would have been coming in, but they wouldn't have affected us if we were still in the EU. But now as a third country, travelling, what have you, has become that much more complicated and expensive. You probably won't believe this, but it's raining here in Wales. It's always raining in Wales. It's the wet county. Yeah. Or country. Oh, crikey. We camped in Wales this Snowdon, and it was slugs. There was lots of orange. Well, they're orange, but they're big black slugs. There were loads of them. If there were, did you scrub? It was harder to get stuff from the. It's easy to get stuff from the US now than it is from the UK. To be fair, I can hear a buzzard. There's plenty of birds here. There really is. We do get buzzards here. Other birds of prey. The thing is, they're not bothered about us. We can just walk down the street. There'll be one standing, perched up on top of a wooden fence post. Who in their right mind, as opposed to left, not ready? Hello, Patrick. China's been doing plenty of bad in e-bikes. Disgusting. Biggest polluters. Big scammers. I don't know about that. Everyone keeps giving China a hard time regarding pollution. If we didn't buy the blooming shit, they wouldn't be making it. We're the ones responsible. Yes, they are polluting, but they're also actually the biggest. Furthest ahead with solar panels regarding becoming okay, that would be self-sufficient because obviously they're still buying coal from Australia and places like that. If we want to curb China's emissions, we need to curb our craving for new stuff that we don't really need. And this throwaway world that we live in, everything is just chucked away. Nothing lasts anymore. Make do amend. That ethos is gone, isn't it? So everything's just disposable. Netherlands, 18 degrees and rain all day. Lovely. Well, it's been no rain here today. It's been quite warm actually today here in France. In the Limousin. It's been alright, sort of safe central. But it's it was a bit overcast at times yesterday, but it's a bit cooler, a little bit cooler. It was warm, but a little bit cooler than yesterday. Now, I for one, if I could afford to get a half decent one, I'd get an electric bike. I don't want them granny things though. I'd like a cargo bike or something like that. So we just load it up. You just go to the shops and stuff like that instead of getting the car out. The idea that they're bad, electric cars are bad for the environment, I think that's a bit silly. I would say that a lot of them are overly complicated and got lots of gadgets and stuff on them that you don't really need. Who really needs a boot that opens itself? Come on, really? Press a button on your remote and the boot opens. Do we really need that? There's all those extra components required to make that happen, you know. Okay, it pushes the cost up of everything, but also those components are going to be made and transported. Silly stuff like that, I just don't get it. I want something simple, like a mini moog. An electric mini moog, that'll do me. Buying stuff from China now, Mark. Sorry. Oh, using your logic, and that's cheating. Stop Putin, the weather will get better. Stop Putin, and the weather will get better. The damage is done. We've done it. I think we've already passed the tipping point. That's what I think. It'd have to heal. And some things don't heal. You know, we've got the jet stream, you've got the Gulf Stream, you've got the El Nino and El Nina. There's all these things that just it's just messing about with all our, well, the balance. It's all gone squiff. Everything has gone squiff, and so have I. The more tech the world gets, the more simple we want it to be. What tech? I suppose it is, really. It keeps disappearing. Come back. It's all gone ping-tong, says Sir Larry the cat. It has. I just feel that I'm a culprit as well. I'm not innocent in all this. I think we all do it. I buy shit I don't really need, or think I need it, and when it comes down to it, then it doesn't get used. You know? I think we all do it. Same with food, about food waste. Okay, well most of our food we grow, so a lot of that gets wasted anyway, because you end up getting a glut, so you end up too much of stuff all at once. And, we do process a lot and try and store a lot of stuff, but there's only so much you can store. We go. Buying stuff. Regarding your video this morning, would you have ever eaten bugs? I hear some top restaurants in France are now putting scorpions and tarantulas on the menu. Oh, crikey, that reminds me of something else. Insect protein. Well, I think it's been passed now, where there's a company that is creating this protein from insects, just as another food source. Lovely. Yeah. I have to admit, this fake meat stuff is looking quite interesting. It'll do some amount of cows that we need. Oh, it's nearly an hour. Jeannie says, I would love a new e-bike with a roof, a trailer, tuk-tuk. Tuk-tuk. With solar power, ride off via sunlight. I know, I would like one. I know I'd use it. I've got a motorbike as well, but, you know. Joe says, afternoon all, just stop by before going shopping. Finally, the weather is back to normal. Summer here. Yeah, it's quite nice here today, buddy, in France. Take care, Jeannie. Be good. Scroll up. And I'll be going off in a minute. I'm really tired all of a sudden. I'm yawning. Heat don't help. Alright. Would I ever consider eating bugs? I suppose I would. It's not like witchy grubs that are gooey and horrible. I don't want any of that. I think you've got to enjoy what you're eating. If they taste good, I'll eat them. But what was it, China? Or was it China? Or was it Vietnam? Where they have like these grasshoppers on sticks. Lovely. Good evening. Is it evening where you are? Netherlands is 18 degrees and rain all day. Right. Scroll up. Well, I'm live tonight, probably around 8:30 UK time. Not sure what we're going to be talking about. Would you eat oysters? Yeah, I eat oysters. Just not around the UK coastline. No, I don't eat any poo. Thank you very much. Ugh, crikey. See, the thing is about these because the way they got filter feeders. So these bivalve mollusks and stuff. Ugh, they're filter feeders. So all the nasty stuff gets left inside them. So you have to depurate them, which is basically you put them in a tank and with clean water, and it flushes them through. And you have filtration systems and stuff like that. But you don't give them any food. So if they depurate them, possibly. But nothing's clean in the UK anymore, unfortunately. This has all been ruined, hasn't it? You know, there's poop everywhere, basically. Yummy, shit-filled oysters, yum yum, my favourite. Joe says, excellent quality seafood here, and I'm addicted to it when I can afford it. Is it quite expensive in Portugal? 'Cause it's very expensive where I am in France. Fish and what have you. It's a bit pricey. You could have 4 350S's out of 1400. See Anne Milford. Sorry. Oh, come back. And probably stick 2 together. What? You could have 4 350S's out of... Oh, I see! I got you now. You're talking about my bike. My motorbike. My GS 1400. GSX. I have motorbikes actually. Yeah, I do use it. It's a GSX 1400. It's too big, really. It's not practical at all. I used to go around, ride around France and have been in Italy a few times and Switzerland, which is great. It's great, but the tar roads really, the long distances, my hands, I struggle with it, to be honest. But it's a bit much. The problem is, you see, I went on my missus' moped the other day. It's only a little 50cc. And I just popped it to the shop and I just jumped on it and just went there. And it was actually really quite pleasant. It's just like a powered skateboard, really. But if I got my motorbike, I've got to be all kitted up and all this gear on and stuff like that. And it's a distraction. And when it's so hot, you just sweat like Billy O. I do have quite a good vented jacket, mesh jacket, which is pretty good. But still, whenever you stop at junctions, you just boil. And, I'll be a sweaty mess. Yeah, but I do like my bike. It's a really good bike, and it's not really practical to sell it either and try and find something else, because for what I get for it and how much stuff cost, second-hand market motorbikes is quite strong here in France. It's raining. I've lost my voice. Says Mellow. Sorry, here, buddy. Do. Depends where and what types of seafood. I know some people and places where I can get it directly from the fishermen. Yeah, it's obviously going to be cheaper then, isn't it? We don't have that here, you see, because we're kind of landlocked. Jim Toy in Century Many did fight for us, told them what not to do, and even killed all who spoke the truth. Well, they're not doing that in the UK, but they are censoring people. Oh my Gideon, ask something else. I've talked about Signal, which is a end-to-end encryption messaging app, and you obviously must have heard about WhatsApp, because you all heard about Boris Johnson and his WhatsApp messages. Well, Apple has now also announced that they'd actually remove their apps from the UK if this bill goes through. The online protections bill. Because they said they cannot and they will not jeopardise the end-to-end encryption of their platform, of the service. So that'd be iMeet and FaceTime. Both of those they're saying would be removed from the UK. There's also some talk about what's going in the EU as well, but the EU is very active on this. Is it Terry Britton? Terry Britton? Yeah, he's trying to, well, not trying, he's making these companies stress test They were over at Twitter like 2 weeks ago. They were at Twitter at the offices, stress testing the platform, see whether or not it'll, whether it's vulnerable. Because how many times do our passwords get stolen or our data get stolen by these from these companies without us knowing about it? Get brushed under the carpet, so to speak. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I really wouldn't. Oh, by the way, just so you know, the King has just had a pay rise. Yeah, about 40%. Yeah, he had a nice little 40% pay rise. I think it's 40%. They look at 130 odd million now instead of the 80 odd million it was getting. That's sort of money. Yeah, great, isn't it? Cost of living crisis and all that, and the King, and his sausage fingers gets shitloads more money. It's nuts. Jim Toy says to Joa, look at the good things it has brought us as well. Most cancers are curable now, yes, and we keep in touch with our loved ones all the times. Yeah, technology is brilliant. I'm not dismissing technology. I think technology is brilliant, but I think we need to have a balance. Like, for instance, we still have the stuff, but I think we need to have some, be aware of there are other ways of doing things. Doesn't always have to be technology driven. So progress is good in that sense, but we must be aware of. I think we've got too complicated in our lives as well, and we kind of strive for all this technology because we just don't have time to do anything other than work. Most families, both partners are working these days, aren't they? And they look for different ways of managing their lives and try and make things a little bit easier. But then you have that addiction thing where you're constantly on there because it's there. You put the timer on and say, oh no, there's enough, you haven't been on there enough today. I'll shut you off. You can do all that, but people won't do it, will they? Now, I'm on there a lot because I'm always reading the comments and stuff, as you probably already know, on these videos. And I can't always reply because obviously it's just too many sometimes. But I do go through the comments, read them. Sometimes I'll reply. Sometimes, but it's just if there was something that made that easier, that job easier, well then I'd be interested. Something that, because what would be quite good for me is if I got a silent notification every time somebody commented. So instead of having like a whole load to do, I could act on stuff much faster. Maybe there is something like that already, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, it's time for me to go. I'm just going to check the chat, because I am so tired now. I really am tired. Who says we should work 5 days out of 7? I think 3 on, 4 off. We need to be paid more money. You need to be paid more. So you can do that. Ain't gonna happen at the moment though, because we haven't got enough people. We haven't got enough people to do the work. So if everybody's off work, nothing's gonna get done, is it? Top choice, I like Donkey Dave and Big Clive. Is that porn? I'm all for progress and I've been interested in technology since a tender age, and I'm referring to it as is disposable and repairable, reusable and not discardable. That's so important, isn't it, really? When we are in a throwaway world, and it's sort of been in my generation, like growing up, what have you, things never really thrown away, everything was down your socks. And it was a make do amend, but then gradually in my era it sort of whittled away. So the important stuff in China, like dodgy torches that sort of like made out of tin and shiny. And eventually we sort of moved more. They've improved their manufacturing in China, and we've utilised it ourselves for our own. We commissioned them to make the stuff for us. We need to go back to nature. I don't mean rotting, not that kind of go back to nature, but we do need to go back to nature and look at the simple things of life. Yeah. Well, me and my missus, we're quite fortunate. We live in this lovely place, and not that it's a shack, but yeah, in France, what have you, and it is a lovely place, and there's lovely, surroundings. It's very agricultural, but if you've got a full-time job, what have you, you're not necessarily going to be in this sort of surroundings, are you? You're going to be in the city, the towns, suburbs, and what have you, most likely. And it's just the cost of everything. It's just so expensive now. I don't know. It's messed up. Simplicity is what we want, or at least we need that. Accept that there are other ways of doing things. Split the difference, maybe. We don't have to say no to technology, do we? I think we just need to accept there are other ways. Not like other ways to do things, but embrace nature. That's what we've got to do, and learn to cook, and grow food, all that sort of stuff. Back on there. Go. Top smoke. What? I think you should do a naturist video. I kind of did that on my Monsieur Patrol, didn't I, at the end? I was running around half naked with just a leather apron on. No, I'm not doing that. The quickest way to lose all my subscribers. Anyway, time for me to go. So I'll say to tell you now. So thanks a lot for joining us for an hour. As near as I've been to an hour for a long time. Ta-ta. Do I want to stop stream? I don't really, but I really must do some other stuff. Ta-ta.